Hey everyone, it's Meg here with Marigold Holistic Pet Care, and in this video we are going to talk about the 4th of July and your pets. Okay. River, you are a funny boy. So I'm here with my client Ziggy. I'm watching her and her sister Marley and her brother River, who's been popping in the video at his desire. But I want to talk real quick about 4th of July. And it's a very testy topic, and I want to be very realistic in my approach to talking about it with pets. So I understand it's an incredible holiday. We really want to celebrate. It's a great time, federal holiday, people are off work and we can spend time with our families and celebrate our country. So I think that it's very realistic for us as pet owners to, understand that it is a holiday people are going to celebrate, and people do. They need to celebrate, and if they want to do fireworks, do fireworks. But let's talk about the realistic aspect of it. If you are going to be doing fireworks and utilizing those types of celebratory fun, then we need to be considerate. I think that's really important. Everybody talks about no fireworks, and I don't think that's realistic. Of course, I certainly don't enjoy the fact that animals and people do have a problem with the loud booms and things like that, but I think that we need to be very respectful and very considerate, making sure that we're not going way late into the hours, and maybe consider not doing it in congested areas, maybe going to other areas where it's less populated. Don't do it really loud fireworks in your backyard when you have neighbors. It's just not considerate. So have fun, be considerate, and make sure that you are taking other people and animals into consideration if you do decide to use fireworks to celebrate the 4th of July. First and foremost is exercise. I'm here at my client's house. They have a beautiful fenced-in yard, and the dog that typically has the most issues with the fireworks and the loud noises is River. And he's a little more sensitive, so I'm going to really focus on him. Doesn't mean that I'm going to ignore sweet Ziggy and Marley, but I'm really going to focus on him, knowing from his owners that he's a little more sensitive. So my time spent with him is going to be exercise. I'm going to do a couple other things that I'll talk about throughout the video, but I'm going to really focus on exercise. I'm going to exercise him right to the brink of where it's safe that he is exercised. But whenever your pet is exhausted, then they typically don't have the type of energy to focus on the anxiety. So when a tired dog is a happy dog, is a good dog. Another really great topic that I want to cover when it comes to the 4th of July and all the noise and the commotion that ensues is to reduce the noise as much as you possibly can. So I understand, dogs and cats have very, very heightened senses, and especially when it comes to hearing. So they can really, really hear a lot of things that we can't hear. So the attempt to completely eradicate fireworks and things like that is kind of not going to happen, but we can definitely significantly reduce it. So make sure that in your home, your windows are closed, your doors are closed, and we really can help with adding a damper to that heightened noise that they will hear during this holiday. So you can use fans, you can use air conditioners, keep them all running, and on top of that, of course, you can add a radio or your Alexa. Every time I leave the house, I say, Alexa, play classical music, and it's always for the dogs while I'm away. So you can do that. You can, I'm a big fan. If you're a client of mine, you know that when you come home, I probably have YouTube on your TV, and it is on a live stream of some sort of calming music or meditation music or something like that. Classical music is another really great one. Scientifically proven those types of music can help a dog or a cat's response to noise sensitivities. So kind of get that real low soothing noise going on, white noise in your home as much as possible. I don't want you to blare things and have things blasting, because that can actually kind of be counterproductive, that your attempt to help actually is causing its own issues. So keep things as mellow as possible, and it will help drown out. It won't eradicate, but it's definitely a great idea to help in noise reduction inside the home. Make sure that your home and your yard and any containment that you're using, whether it be a tie-out lead or an actual physical fence, if you do have an electric fence, I highly, highly, highly suggest that you do not use them during fireworks, during loud situations, even thunderstorms. Very, very often dogs will just burst through the electric fence. They don't even think of it, and you will lose them. They will run away. So make sure that your house is secure. Make sure, I do tell people to do what's called the puppy shuffle. Like when you walk out that door, you need to look behind you as you walk out it backwards to make sure that a dog or a cat doesn't slip by you unbeknownst. That should be something that you do all the time, but specifically during thunderstorms, 4th of July, even whenever you have parties over at your house and there's a lot of people and commotion that dogs and cats aren't used to. So containment, containment, containment. I can't stress that enough. Dogs will jump fences. They will burst through a part of the fence that's not secure during moments of panic, whenever there is loud noises and fireworks and such. So make sure that you are 100% on top of making sure that your pets are fully contained. Even jumping out of an open window or pushing a fan or an air conditioner out of the window, make sure that your pets are contained and they're safe. Even when normally they're okay, but when a sense of panic sets in, kind of no holds bar. They will fight or flight. A lot of times there's nothing to fight and they will just flight. They'll blow through an electric fence, they'll jump a fence, they'll push through a fence, they'll snap a tie-out lead, they will push through a window or a door. So make sure that your pets are very safely contained and they're not going to inadvertently slip past you and run loose and be in just a panic and will run away from you. I'm here with my boy Cash, and I want to point out something that a lot of owners don't take into consideration with their pets. I've had Cash for about 11 years now, and he's always been really, really great on all fronts. Not much bothers him. He does really well in most situations. But as he has gotten older, I've noticed that he does have a little bit of sensitivity to noise that he hasn't always had. So we have some construction that's been recently going on out on the road in front of us, and I've noticed that he does get really, really freaked out by some of the equipment and the noises that it makes. I find him hiding in our master bathroom sometime, and I'm like, yo dude, what's your deal? Like, I don't understand what's going on. But I've kind of put two and two together, and I have noticed that he really just does not enjoy that noise. So make sure that you are being mindful of your pets and keep watch to them and see if in fact they are having some issues that they've not had before. And if that's the case, then you need to be a little bit more sensitive to that and help them get through that hard point of a new fear or phobia that they have to noise sensitivity. I want to bring up a topic that people talk about a lot, and that is the use of calming agents. So we have things like pheromone collars and diffusers, we have essential oils, we have CBD oil. All of them can and are proven to be very, very effective, but it's kind of something that you can't just use the night of the 4th of July or the night of a thunderstorm. It's something that we need to make sure that it is in fact effective for our pet in using. So there, like I said, all of the things that I listed are very, very safe, proven to be effective, but it just depends on the animal as an individual. We need to make sure that it actually is effective, and we certainly don't want to attempt to use these things the night of it happening, and it may or may not even help. So we want to try to make sure that we are finding effective tools that actually work for our pets. So use them in times of like thunderstorms, and we can see if the animal has changed their behavior. Are they still panicking? And we can find what really works for our pets in terms of effectiveness. So if they are coming up on an incident like the 4th of July, when there's going to be a lot of noise and possibly panic, we will already have something in our toolbox, so to say, that we know that is effective for our pets. Another extremely important topic that I want to bring up is that if you do go to a picnic or some sort of outdoor activity, or even an indoor activity somewhere else that's not your own home, I want you to highly consider, if it's possible, to leave your pet at home. The best place for them is an environment that is familiar to them, specifically whenever they are in a panic situation. So if you know that your dog or even your cat has some sort of phobia to chaos, to lots of noise, don't think that bringing them with you is going to be helpful for them in that situation. In fact, the opposite is true. Leave them at home in a secure environment with different various noise reduction things in place, and highly exercise your pet if you can, and even throughout the day. I know that during 4th of July I'm always very busy with clients, and I will make sure that I allow extra time to give the dogs or cats extra interaction, extra exercise than I already typically do provide for them, because I know that being exercised is really important. But keeping your pets at home in a secure environment that they are very familiar with is really important. I don't want to see pets in very unfamiliar situations, and they do have a very unexpected sound with firework booms going off, and they will just panic and bolt. They will flight. And then that's a bad thing, because they are not in an environment that they're used to. They don't know the neighborhood that they're in, and it can be very difficult for them to double back and find their way because they're in an unfamiliar area. So please, if you can keep your pets at home, keep them at home. If you do have a party or a picnic to go to, that's fine. Find a local pet sitter, somebody that's going to be able to come in and maybe take your pets for a walk, making sure that they're very secure. I typically double leash dogs when I take them outside of not only their own yard or home or my home where I do pet sitting, but make sure that they're secure and have a very well versed, experienced, and even highly recommended pet sitter to come and give them that interaction that they need while you're away for the day. And there's nothing wrong with that. But make sure that you do have an opportunity for the pet sitter to become familiar with your dog and vice versa, so that it's not a lot of unfamiliarity right away. It's the first time the pet sitter comes and they're not familiar with them. So it's always good to have a great pet sitter in your toolbox that you can refer to and have to help out whenever you need them. So keep your pets at home and in a secure, very familiar environment, instead of thinking that taking them to the picnic with you is a good idea. So in conclusion, if you're going to use fireworks, have fun, be respectful, be courteous. Please don't be setting it off very close to your neighbors' homes and in really crowded areas that aren't expecting it. So just take into consideration that there are people and pets that are very sensitive to this. I'm not saying don't have fun. I'm not saying don't set off fireworks. I'm just saying please be courteous, please be respectful, and be mindful of other people and living beings that are sensitive to that. And another thing too that I want to mention is that not only does it affect pets, but it also affects wildlife. There's a lot of wildlife that is affected by the fireworks and the loud commotion that is ensued by this time of year during the 4th of July. So make sure that you're trying to stay away from different areas where animals congregate. Try to do it in open areas, open parking lots. It's just a lot safer for everyone involved, and it's definitely courteous to other people and animals, pets as well.
You're so sweetie boy. You're such a sweetie bitty boy. You know that? You know that, you sweetie boy? Huh? You know that, you sweetie boy?
Anybody else talk to their dogs like that? Freaking gnats! Holy moly! Driving me nuts! part of the holiday. We River, you're a funny boy. High five. Yes. You can use I hate saying ¿Qué tú quieres, mi hijito? Ven aquí. Cash, ven aquí. Ven.